Hello and welcome to Boardgame Ninja. Today I would like to give you some insight into Moon Adventure, another small game by Oink games. We'll talk you through the setup, how to play and a little review at the end. Let's go adventuring on the moon. In Moon Adventure you are astronauts marooned on the moon and your supplies are scattered over the surface by a gigantic magnetic storm. You have to go out from your base to collect them in the hope they will supply enough life support until you are rescued. But oxygen is limited and you all have to survive. To win Moon Adventure you need to haul back as many supplies as possible back to the base. You require a certain number of supplies related to the number of players to get you through the storm. Back on the base you will inspect the crates and if you have enough undamaged goods you all survive and win the game. Moon Adventure is the follow-up to the enormously successful Deep Sea Adventure. While the adventure in the deep sea was a push-your-luck game, this is more of a game where you bring the odds to your side with a bit of careful planning. As you move further away from the base, the chance of finding undamaged supplies rises, but at the same time it is harder to get back with the growing stack of supplies you are carrying instead of oxygen. Place the moon base on the table. Shuffle all the supply tokens and divide them by number 3, 4 and 5. Make a trail of supplies starting with the 3s and ending with the 5s, like this. Place the moon rover at the end of the track. We were wondering what these numbers mean and we found out. They're the number of undamaged supplies you will find among the 7 tiles of that sort. Only undamaged supplies will make your mission a success. Each player receives 1 roll card and places the astronaut of the same color on the moon base. Every roll has their own specialism, so choose carefully. Take 5 container cards and place them in front of you. Separate the magnetic storm cards from the oxygen cards and place them aside. Shuffle the oxygen cards and deal every player 3 cards, which are placed in 3 containers. The rest of the oxygen cards are put in the discard pile, topped with 1 of the magnetic storm cards. Every player also gets a summary A and B card. The rest of the components are placed next to the board. Determine the starting player and you are ready to begin. When it is your turn, you play 1 of the oxygen cards from your supplies. If it is a card with 2 oxygen, you roll 2 dice, for 3 oxygen, 3 dice. The numbers rolled is the number of action points for this turn. You can use them for 6 different actions. For 1 point, you can take a step on the trail in either direction. You jump over other pieces like this. 1, 2, 3. 3 action points spent. For 3 points, you can pick up supplies from a field next to you. Place the token in one of your empty containers without looking at it. Replace the supply token with a collector's token. For 2 points, you can develop the route. This means that you place a yellow cube on a field adjacent to you. From now on, everyone can jump over this field, thus shortening the route. For 1 point, you can give any number of oxygen cards and supply tokens to a player next to you, or get them from a player next to you. For 3 points, you can set up an oxygen generation system, OGS. Place 1 of the 5 OGS tokens between you and the next token, like this. Here you can replenish your oxygen, which is very useful. And last, for 1 point, you can abandon 1 of your supply crates. Place it between you and the next token, just like the OGS. You can take any action as many times as you like in any order, as long as you have action points left. Action points that you don't spend are lost. Now it's the turn of the next player in clockwise order. When you find yourself on an oxygen generation system, at the end of your turn, you may draw an oxygen card from the drawing pile and place it in one of your containers. You may take this action as many times as you have open containers left, but be careful. Whenever you draw one of the dreaded magnetic storm cards, the OGS is destroyed and you have to flip it over to the red side. Place the magnetic storm card on the discard pile. If the draw pile is empty, you take the discard pile and shuffle it, forming a new draw pile. Place 1 new magnetic storm in the new discard pile. In this way, the chance of drawing a storm will slowly increase over time. Finally, the rover. When a player reaches the end of the trail, he gets in the rover. Place your astronaut on the rover. From there, it can move 2 spaces for every action point you spend. Then you can take new supply tokens, activate an OGS or develop the route. Oh, and you can't get off the rover or take someone else, so you better race back to the base. The game ends when a player has no oxygen cards at the beginning of their turn. That means that you lose. The game also ends when all players have reached the base again. Now it's showtime. Turn all collected supply crates over and see how many undamaged supplies were collected. Compare the number of supplies with the number required and see if you will survive this magnetic storm. The box of Moon Adventure is packed with components. Even a deck of small cards is provided. The quality is, as with most Oink games, outstanding. However, the large number of components also make the game feel a bit fiddly, which is quite an achievement for such a small game. If you're wondering if you should get the special edition, the special edition comes with 5 extra roll cards, which gives you more possibilities and changes the odds. Some combinations of roll make the adventure easier and some combinations take the difficulty up a bit. Moon Adventure is a new implementation of Deep Sea Adventure, but although some of the mechanics and components feel familiar, the gameplay itself feels totally different. The push-your-luck elements have been moved to the back seat and it has become more of a game of planning and statistics. I suspect that once you know how to optimize your chances in this game, it loses some of its allure. This may have to do with the fact that Moon Adventure is a cooperative game, whereas Deep Sea Adventure is a competitive game. So some of the edge that makes Deep Sea Adventure so exciting has been lost, and this is a bit of a shame, to be honest. Still, Moon Adventure is a fun little outing to the moon surface and a cute game to bring along or to give to a friend. You play it with 2 to 5 players and from the age of 10, and it takes about 40 minutes to get out there and then haul all your supplies back inside before your oxygen runs out. Good luck!
If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel.